Hey friends, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Got a simple tip for you to help you take your chorus or the hook of your track to the next level in your mix. And I love little things like this because they're free, they're easy, anybody can do them in any DAW, and it's these little things that make your mix go from okay to interesting and nice. It's nothing anyone will ever notice, but it will improve your mix by giving it a lift of energy in the chorus. And what I'm talking about is using not just percussion, but augmenting your percussion from mono to stereo. So let's say you've got some drums in a track that you have some percussion. If you don't already have any kind of percussion, I'm talking about a shaker, tambourine, something like that to augment your drums, then go ahead and start doing that in the chorus anyway. It's a great way to give a little bit of a lift. I've already done a video on that in the past. It's a real simple thing you can do. Buy a tambourine for like $11 or buy an egg shaker, or like I did for one video, I took my daughter's project from school, which was literally a candy plastic Easter egg filled with dry rice, and I shook it into the microphone and made a shaker. Do something to add that high frequency rhythmic element to give your mix a lift. But that's the old obvious thing. If you haven't already done it, then do it. It's really simple and helpful. But let's say you want to give your mix some more lift in the chorus. The trick is to take a simple mono piece of percussion and make it stereo just for the hook. And here's how I did it in a mix. So here is going into the chorus, going into the hook the original way with just the original shaker track. So you're going to hear the loop, and then when the drums come in, you'll hear a shaker, and it already sounds bigger, but I'll tell you what I thought was the problem after you hear it. Sounds fine. The energy lifts naturally. It's a good arrangement, well recorded, but here's the deal is a lot of this song is kind of up the middle, and the arrangement doesn't really change a ton, and so I felt that it was getting repetitive, and I really needed this hook to seem to open up, especially if you are going to listen to it on headphones. I wanted it to go from a up the middle kind of subtle mix to just wow and big. And I like the shaker track. Let's go ahead and just listen only to the drums here. Get rid of the band. Let's get to the chorus. We got a shaker loop. And so I thought, why don't we pop this into stereo? And instead of doing fake stereo, which is something you should never really do unless it's just part of the effect. But if you're trying to create stereo out of a mono track, you can't by just simply copying it or copying it and then shifting one back in time from the other. That's a fake stereo, which is more of an effect than it is help a lot of times. So what you really need to do is create a separate performance, and this is way easier than it sounds. All I did was zoom in on this shaker track and figured that there's at least a couple of bars where it's different. This one is one shake, and this is a second shake. If you listen closely, they're slightly different, okay? I figured that's about all there is. I mean, I was given these tracks, and so I'm assuming that was a loop, and then everything else is looped. I can't assume that this is really all one performance. It sounds like they're the same, but these two shakes at least are slightly different. So what I did, if I scroll down here, is I basically created a new shaker loop that is the complete opposite of that shaker loop. So I copied the second shake, and I pasted it to a new track as the first shake. And then I copied the first shake and pasted it to a new track as the second shake, and then I consolidated into a bar here. So then what I've got is basically when this shake hits, the one on the other track is going to be a different sound, and when this shake hits, the one on the other track is going to be a different sound, which means if we pan them respectively hard left and hard right and play them at the same time, you will hear them in stereo. Because they're a separate performance. Okay, this is relatively basic, but some people don't get this, or some people haven't thought of this. But this took all of 2 seconds, and now I've taken a simple mono shaker that I could only pan up the middle or choose one side over the other, and turned it into a stereo shaker performance that I can loop, and it will always be stereo, and I can have it hard left and right, which means that the chorus really will pop and it'll go stereo when the drums come in, which is a nice touch. You get that high frequency energy and lift in both the left and the right ear, and it stays out of the way of the kick and the snare. So that really gives the mix some lift, especially with the whole band, when we're sort of very up the middle focused, and then the percussion comes in on the left and the right. I mean, this is really simple, people. That's all it is take your existing tambourine loop, your existing shaker loop, and turn it into a stereo loop by doing this cut and paste reverse method. So you have a true stereo performance, meaning there's separate performances, pan them left and right, and it's very easy to take a verse and bridge or regular sections that are very monocentric or very normal or very mild to then having more energy on the entire stereo spectrum, which gives you chorus or your hook a lift. And it's these little teeny things that can go a long way to make your mix complete, to make it interesting, to make it engaging. By itself, this will not change or make or break your mix. Added to very simple things along the way, all the stuff that I'm always trying to share with you, adds up to a really nice, really sweet thing. Hope that helps. Maybe it's something to put in your bag of tricks for a future mix. Have a great, great weekend. Make some great music. And if you haven't already, download the official app. If you like these videos, it's for Apple and Android already. So you can get it on your tablet or your phone. It's free. All the videos are there for you. And there's an entire sort of social media community inside the app where you can share your studio. You can interact with other members as well. It's 100% free, and it's in the App Store and the Google Play Store right now, as well as subscribe to the videos here if you like them. I always appreciate a thumbs up, and I love your comments. Have a great, great week. We'll talk to you soon.